Hello, my name is Kathy Maglio, and I am a learning specialist at JFYNet Works. This presentation will walk you through using the teacher functionality of Mathspace, the software we use for strengthening math skills and assessments. Mathspace is curriculum aligned and will track students' progress. To begin, go to mathspace.co, and then on the home page, click Login at the top right corner. Your JFYNet specialist will provide you with your login credentials. Then you can log in using your username and password. After you've logged in, you will be asked to create a class. Your JFYNet specialist may create your class and enroll your students for you, but we will walk you through doing it in case you would like to do it yourself. To create your class, enter a class name and then select a textbook from a drop-down menu of textbook options. You can then open the advanced options and select other textbooks to be used in this class. You can also select the entire Mathspace database of questions by selecting World of Math USA Edition. You can also add other teachers who would you like to have access to this class. Then click Create Class. After adding your class, you can enroll your students. Click the Add Students button at the bottom of the page. There are two ways a student can be added to your class: using an alphanumeric code generated by Mathspace or by manually entering the students. You will be shown both ways, starting with manually entering your students. If a student is new to Mathspace, click the Create a New Student button. If a student has been previously enrolled in Mathspace, click Find an Existing Student. To enroll a student who is new to Mathspace, enter the student's name, email if you have it, select the class the student is to be enrolled in from the pull-down menu. In the advanced options, select the textbook you will be using for the class. Then click Create Student. Once all your students are entered, you can download an Excel spreadsheet with each student's username and temporary password. Click the Download button in the top right. The other way students can be enrolled in your class is by using an alphanumeric code. This code is provided by Mathspace when you add your class. Students click the Join a Class button on the top right of the home page. Students enter the class code. If the student is not new to Mathspace, click I have an account. If the student is new to Mathspace, click Create New Account. The student enters a name, email, and a given password. Every student should enter the same password. Then click Join Class. After adding your class and enrolling your students, you are ready to begin using Mathspace. You navigate through the features of the program using the dashboard on the left. The first icon allows you to select a task. Once you click on the plus, a window opens that allows you to select a task type: adaptive, custom, or to create a task template that will be saved in the template gallery to be assigned at a later time or for other teachers to access it. There are two types of tasks in Mathspace: adaptive and custom. Adaptive tasks are good for skills practice. Mathspace selects the questions from the topics you select. The questions for each student will be different. Students achieve a mastery level and no score will be given. For custom tasks, these are good for assessments and tests. You select the questions for a topic or multiple topics. Students receive the same questions. Students receive a grade for their work. The next icon gives you access to your classes. When you click on the classes icon, you will see a window with information about your class. We'll look at the information on this window later on in the presentation. From the classes window, you can add students to your existing class. Click on the class you want to enroll students in. Once the class is opened, click on Settings in the top right. To add a new student to your class, click on the Add Students in the middle of the page. Enter the student's name, email if you know it, and select the class the student is to be enrolled in from the pull-down menu. In the Advanced options, select the curriculum textbook, then click Create Student. The third icon is Students. When you click on it, you will see a window where you can view data on every student in your class. The fourth icon is Task Templates. When you click it, you will be taken to the template gallery. Here, all the templates you created and saved are located. There are also templates created by Mathspace and teachers in the JFYNet family who use Mathspace. You can assign any of these templates to your class. The last icon is Textbooks. This icon opens a window showing the curriculum for one of your textbooks. You can select or search for a topic or a standard, and questions pertaining to that topic will be displayed. You can create an adaptive task from this window. To create an adaptive task, click the Adaptive Task button in the Select Task Type window. A window will appear that will allow you to select the content. Click on the topic you want and a list of questions will appear to the left of the selection box. Click Continue. A window will appear so you can assign the task. Enter the start and stop dates, then from a pull-down menu, select Class, Multiple Classes, an individual student, or multiple students to receive the task. You can set the mastery level students are to achieve and how many questions you want them to answer, 10, 20, or 50. Then click Continue for the task to be assigned. Now let's look at creating a custom task which is best used for assessing or testing a skill. You select the topic from the pull-down menu. You can scroll the content or search for content for a specific topic or standard. You can add content from different topics or standards in the same task. When the content questions appear, you can add a question to the task by clicking on the plus button to the right of each question. You can click the triangle to the left of each question to see difficulty level and estimated time of completion. Once the question is added to the task, it can be duplicated or deleted using the icons below the question. Once you have added all the questions, click Continue. Now you can assign the task. Type in a name for the task, start and due dates. Then select who you want to assign the task to from a pull-down menu. You can assign the task to a class, multiple classes, an individual student, or multiple students. You can save this task to the task gallery. If this task is an assessment, you can turn off hints and videos under the advanced options. Now let's look at some of the student accountability features in Mathspace. The first one we will look at is Insights. On this window, you will see several blocks of information. The task information, outlined in red, is a calendar with task due dates. The student activity block, outlined in purple, shows how many students worked in Mathspace for a specific time period. The topics to address, block outlined in green, shows what topics students are struggling with, and the student information block, outlined in yellow, lists which students need help and which students are excelling. The student activity feature shows a nice graphic of student activity in Mathspace for a given period of time. You will also see a status on how each student is performing on activities. Next to each student's name, there is the last time the student was active in Mathspace, how many questions were answered, and how much time was spent answering those questions. The last task that was worked on, and an icon that can be clicked to see the student's dashboard. From the student activity window, if you click on the student's name, you will see more detailed information on how the student is performing in Mathspace over a given period of time. The data includes the number of questions completed, the time spent on an activity, and an activity log of tasks. If you click on the graph icon to the right of each student's name, access to the student scorecard. By clicking on each question number, you can view the student's responses to each question. Another feature in Mathspace is student mastery. The topics and subtopics are determined by Mathspace and correspond to the textbook curriculum. You also have mastery levels and the corresponding numeric scores. In the Mastery window, by clicking on the Work Done button, you can see which subtopics a student has mastered by a filled-in box. Click on a filled-in box to see all the subtopics for a given topic. It also shows which subtopics a student has mastered. The Tasks window displays a list of tasks for a given time period, the number assigned, the participation rate, the average time spent, the mastery average, and the grade average. Switching to the student view, you will see how each student is performing on the task in a given time period. By clicking on the arrow to the far right of the student's name, you will see how that student performed on each task. You can download this data by clicking on the download icon on the top right. This is an example of a student task list. In the Tasks feature, you can download reports by clicking on the download icon. Reports can be generated by tasks and by student. With the slider on Tasks, you can download 3 different data reports: Task View, Student View, and a Gradebook. Sample reports are showed in the following slides. This is a sample of the task report. This is a sample of the Student View report. This is a sample of the Gradebook report. We hope this presentation has given you useful information about using Mathspace. If you have any comments or questions, please do not hesitate to contact your JFYNet specialist or contact us at the email address shown on the screen. Make sure you follow JFYNet on our website, jfynet.org. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you for viewing this presentation. This has been a production of JFY Networks.